Hello, it's Stephanie of Rough Car, and tonight we are going to talk about perimenopause and menopause nutrition. I'm actually going to jump in a little bit on strength training as well during this time, and I feel like I'm an expert at this because I'm 51 and I have experienced perimenopause. I've gone through menopause, had a hysterectomy, and I kind of am experiencing some things again 10 years later. But I got my notes with me because I could talk all night and I want to stay on track. And then after usually the live, then I'm always like, oh my goodness, I forgot to mention and say something. So thank you for tuning in live tonight. Again, I could talk about this all night about perimenopause and menopause because really, honestly, it has probably been the hardest season. And I've had 3 kids. I've had to lose pregnancy weight. I've gone through lots of things in life, but it seems like this perimenopause and menopause has really been was a struggle for myself, and it also has been a struggle for my clients. So my largest clientele that I'm a nutrition coach, I strength train clients from 16 to 76, but for nutrition, the 40 to probably a 60 is my highest influx of clients that come in for nutrition coaching, because this is the time when this 10-year span that it could honestly go up to 15 years where people are struggling with their weight and things. So I'm going to touch on things about that. So you really have to be proactive during this time. So if you're tuning in, that means that you're being proactive, because the weight can come on us so easily. We can hold water retention so easily. We can, if our sleep is off, it can cause us to gain weight. I will actually have to let you know, I do this for a living, and I will, if you want to subscribe to my email, I'm going to be touching on more of this on Sunday, but I have actually gained 10 pounds of water weight, and I do this for a living. And it's because I'm not managing my stress. We've had a lot of family issues and things like that. So know that it happens to everyone. There's been nothing, my diet has not changed or anything, but I'm not managing my stress. I'm not practicing when I preach. I'm not sleeping like I should. And little things like that can just derail us. And I have already been through menopause. I've already had hysterectomy, but I feel like, and that was 10 years ago, I feel like every generation, like I sailed through age 50, but 51 has really been kicking my booty. And so know that we honestly have to get back to like when we were babies, where we would have to be on a sleep schedule. We'd have to eat on on an eating schedule. And that's what I help my clients with. I've been working with a lot that are in this menopause stage. And I'm like, all right, you have to eat at a certain time. You have to go to bed. So, you know, when you were a kid and your parents used to make you take a nap, well, you have to go and take naps. You have to get your rest. Alcohol actually has to be eliminated. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. During this time, I'm sorry. I mean, and I even tell people, if you want me to nutrition coach you and you're still going to drink alcohol, then I can't help you, because absolutely during this time, alcohol cannot be in your diet. Our body slower digests during perimenopause, menopause, so our body does not process our food like it did when we were younger. Doesn't take a scientist to figure that out, but it does when we're in this perimenopause, menopausal time. We are thinking, why can I not eat the foods that I ate before? Our gut health gets disrupted. I've really been through a ringer lately. So the week before Easter, I got thrush. My diet has not changed. Thrush is usually from, you know, bad gut bacteria, but I have been so stressed over several situations, and I ended up getting thrush. So I literally just have healed my thrush, and I will not take an antibiotic. Also, during an antibiotic during this time is very, it will disrupt your gut health, and I would not take an antibiotic unless it's just absolutely dire need if you're in perimenopause or menopause. So I've actually been going to my local organic store, and I've been healing my yeast with that's been in my mouth for naturally with a yeast detox, candida. But things just get out of rate. I mean, things that when we were younger didn't affect us, but they really do now. So slower digestion. You really have to sit and chew your food, just like what your mom used to tell you when you were younger. You know, sit down, chew your food, be very mindful. You can't run on the go. You do not need to have caffeine. And I know if you follow me, you've heard me preach this over and over with those first 90 minutes. And honestly, you really need to eliminate caffeine as much as possible. I know it's kind of hard to really eliminate it, but alcohol absolutely has to be eliminated. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. Caffeine, you just want to kind of just have it in moderation. Protein. So I am getting my functional nutrition practitioner license. Hopefully I'll have it by the end of the year. And then also I am under Dr. Gabrielle Lyons. And so protein forward. So the national RDA is supposed to, 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight. Well, that is it for someone that is younger. But if you're in this perimenopause, menopause, we are losing muscle mass. Also, we're sweating at night. And so you actually need more. What you need, everyone is so different. I do not I see all these trainers and nutritionists say, oh, go and use this calculator. Well, you can. It's a robot. It's not a person. Yeah, you may be able to get close, but you really do need to work with someone, and you have to really stay on it 2 to 4 weeks on a strict regimen to see if that is working for you before you change. You cannot change. So many women come to me, and if it's not working in 2 days or a week, they just want to throw in the towel. You can't. And you have to straight train. You have to prioritize protein. You have to stay consistent, because if you do not stay consistent, how are you going to know if it works? And so the more that you go in and out, all you're doing is prolonging everything. So know that that is very, very crucial to stay on a strict regimen. Also, carbs during this time, a lot of ladies become insulin resistant, and you really kind of need to get your carbs either from the earth, which is like sweet potatoes. I don't like regular potatoes, but you need to get them from veggies and from fruit. So you really need to be mindful of how you are consuming your carbs. Pasta is going to I still have women, what about protein pasta? I'm like, well, you can try it, but you may need to take it out of your diet. It's just not like it was when we were younger. So this is a very, very crucial time where you really have to be strict on your diet. I know it's not fun. You may have to take out all breads. It pretty much, if it's not coming from the earth, you probably need to remove it from your diet. And let me see what else I need to. Rest is your best friend. Seriously, take the naps. And I know that if you work, it's hard to do that. I work full time. Luckily from home, if I need to take like a 20-minute power nap, especially if you've had a night where you have really sweated it out. And if you are having those hot flashes at night and you are sweating, you're depleting your magnesium, sodium, potassium. And so you need to supplement with that. That is what supplement is for. And so that is another reason why that you are probably not getting that lean muscle. You're not sleeping well, the stress, you're depleting your magnesium, sodium, and potassium. I love Elements. You probably see me preach about it. It's LMNT, but it's called Elements. And if you're local to the Arkansas, Oklahoma area, you can purchase it at YTFS, or you can get it on Amazon or shop your Whole Food store. So that is great, little packets that you can put in your water. Also, first thing in the morning, if you have had those sleepless nights where you're sweating, to put some pink salt in your water as soon as you wake up, because that will help. Salt is not bad. If you're over 40, we grew up in the generation where, you can't salt anything. Well, that's the white table salt. That is actually why you need salt. You need the pink salt. So sprinkle on that. I use it for a pre-workout. If you are not strength training, you are doing yourself a disservice. You are going to be aging backwards. You can take someone that is in their 50s, 60s, or 70s that strength trains a minimum of 3 days a week is what anyone should do, versus someone that does cardio only or lives just more of a plant-based lifestyle. And those that with a plant-based lifestyle look 20 years older. You have to strength train. You are not going to get bulky, and it's not your 3-pound weights. Okay, you can start with 3-pound weights, but then you need to up it. What you want to do is progressive overload. So know that water retention is so easy during this time because of the lack of sleep and because you're sweating at night. And if you're not drinking enough water, a good rule of thumb is 1 gallon a day or 1 ounce per pound. So do know that you need to be drinking that water, especially if you're sweating at night. Let me see what else. Your fats, I love sugar. You're going to have to limit the sugar. Fats are going to come from your avocados, your nuts, your ghee, your healthy butters. Butters are fine as long as they're not your bad butters, like your avocado, your ghee, the Kelly Goat. I love that butter. So know that you need to be getting those healthy fats, your nuts. That'll give you also extra protein as well. And then when you travel, you know, how it kind of knocks us back and it takes us, you know, I have a funny story. So when my daughter lived in Hawaii, she would say, why do you wake up 3 hours before me and then it takes you that long to get ready? Well, and she goes, because you're in shape, Mom. Well, yes, I'm in shape, but you know, she's 26 years younger than me. And so, you know, we don't just pop up like we used to. It takes us a little while. As healthy as I am and as fit as I am, we don't just pop up like we used to. And so she would just wake up, pop up, and be ready to go. So it takes us longer. We have to rest. We have to recover. You know, that's why you always hear people that partied in college, you know, they're like, I can't hang like I used to, you know, when I'm in my 50s and stuff, because there's a reason for that. So know that you really need to prioritize. There's nothing wrong with taking those naps, prioritizing that sleep. And then when you get out of your routine, I mean, we all know that. I actually have a client that I'm coaching right now that she has said, she loves to travel, and she says, I actually have not gone on many trips with my friends because I needed to get in a routine, because every time I get out of my routine, I gain so much weight, or I get off track. Like I'll be having momentum where I'm losing weight, then I go on a trip and then it knocks me off. Now, I've always said too, if I travel over 2 hours by car, I literally can't go to the bathroom. And so my body shuts down. I don't know what it is. And so that is very common. And you can get some Celeon husk. You can do sugar-free Metamucil. You can do apple cider vinegar, because you have to be going to the bathroom every single day. I literally, you know, your body's working well. I go to the bathroom within 30 minutes of waking up. So you want to be regular. If you're not regular, you need to add some liquid iodine to your diet. You need to either, you're probably low on magnesium as well. So you have to be going to the bathroom to lose weight as well. So just know during this time that you really do, it's not going to be a quick fix. And I don't care how fit you are, how healthy you are going to have to, you may have to eat the same foods, you know, maybe change them up a little bit. But you cannot you can't be like when you're younger, like, oh, I'm going to go grab me a tea and then I'm going to go grab this. I mean, you have to, once you start eating, you need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. Intermittent fasting, I love intermittent fasting. It works for some, it works for, you know, some it doesn't work. It just depends on your body. It takes a little bit of time. And so I do that. And I am taking on new clients, but just know that it's not a fast fix if you're in perimenopause or menopause. And the worst thing that you need to be doing is just throwing in the towel. You've got to push through. You've got to strength train. You've got to prioritize that sleep. You've got to, you know, you may have to take out some carbs. You may have to stop the alcohol for a while. And then hopefully you stop it for a while, then you don't want it anymore. You have to limit the caffeine. And so, you know, it's always good to have a coach there by your side to help you, to let you know that, okay, it is okay. You just got to push through. And someone I actually had a coach through a client yesterday. She was about to throw herself off the bus, you know, and stuff. She's like, I swear I can only make it 6 weeks. But you just have to push through, because it literally, and then you will have a good, like I said, I do this for a living. You will have things going well, and then you'll get stressed, and then it just derails you again. And you just got to go back, regroup, and just think about all the steps. I've got to prioritize my sleep, got to prioritize my protein. And when you sit down and eat, if you're someone who doesn't like protein, you've got to eat that first, okay? Don't fill up on, and you really don't fill up on carbs, you just think you do. You fill up on them at the first of it, but then you're hungrier later. So you want to eat that protein. And then also your gut health. It is so easy during this time for your gut vitamin to get off, you know, and so know that happens, like stress. Or if you think, you know, I used to could eat this food, but I can't anymore. Very common, happens with me. And I do this for a living. I'm like, okay, that used to never bother me, and now I can't have it anymore. And you get a lot of more food sensitivities. I remember my grandmother would come and stay with us, and, you know, she'd say, oh, this hurt my stomach, or she could only eat toast and things like that. So I get it now. You know, there's just certain foods. And sometimes you have to play around with foods. Some of my clients, I have to make sure they have a good protein, carb, and fat mixture together, because some of their gut biome cannot handle just the protein only. We have to make sure that we have a good carb source with that. So Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I could talk about this forever. If you're sedentary, you need to make sure you're getting 5 days a week of 10,000 steps. You got to be moving too, drinking that water, going to the bathroom. It literally is almost your childhood punishment when you're a baby and, you know, or you've had a child and you have to keep them on that schedule. It's like you've reverted back to that during this time. And know that you could have maybe a good 2 years and then it could come back. Not full, like I said, it's been 10 years since I've been through menopause, but I'm having a little bit of the effects just because of some stressful situations and things. And so I've had to take a step back myself. So know that if you're going through this time, it is very normal. And if you're out with your girlfriends, it's so funny. I get this question a lot, like, well, I'm out with my friends. I don't want to say anything. I'm like, it's your body. You know, just say, hey, listen, you know, y'all go have fun. I can't stay out later. I can't have that alcohol, you know, because you're the one that is suffering and you're the one that is feeling, you know, the pain and the consequences of it. So if you have any more questions, I don't like to keep over 15 to 20 minutes on these talks. Feel free to comment, email me, reach out to me, and I would love to help you because like I said, I'm through this age and I help a lot of ladies through this time. All right, thank you so much.